Hi everyone, my name is Diana. Thank you for watching part 2 of our presentation. So I'm going to go over a little bit of the CSA sequence. In the concrete phase, students can use manipulatives for their tape diagrams to help them solve word problems. As you can see in the first picture below, a student is utilizing a tape diagram, however they are using the base 10 blocks are the ones to model their thinking when it comes to either adding, subtracting. In the next picture, as you can see, students can also utilize Unifix cubes to model their thinking if needed when utilizing a tape diagram. In the semi-concrete phase, so this is where tape diagrams really take off. Students will use a tape diagram in which they will draw to model their thinking. Tape diagrams can be used and drawn in various ways to demonstrate the problem, depending on the need. If it's a two-step, if it's a compare, if it's different strategies, however the student may deem necessary in order to solve the problem, they can draw the tape diagram to represent it. And finally, the examples of abstract. In the abstract phase, students will no longer be using tape diagrams to model their thinking. Instead, they will use real numbers and equations to solve the problem. You can use standard algorithm as a step away from using a tape diagram. So below I have a picture in which it's kind of like a gradual release. Students move from the concrete phase, so using a manipulative, to a pictorial phase where they're drawing a tape diagram, to the abstract phase in which they model their thinking by using real numbers and equations to show their answers and their responses. Next, we have a couple of resources that you may check out on your own time to help you implement this model. Next, I have an example of a word problem in which a student is modeling their thinking while utilizing the RDW process. So the RDW process is a process that is used most often with word problems. Below, you can see there's a rubric in which students can use in order to model their thinking and best tackle a word problem. I'm not going to go over it in too much detail, but as you can see below, there's a rubric that tells students what to do for the read portion, what to do for the drawing portion, and what to do for the writing portion. And as you can see in this in this word problem, there's two tape diagrams being utilized. As you can see, this is a two-step word problem. And so this was an example of what it looks like when utilizing it in the semi-concrete and the concrete phase. Now you're going to practice. What you'll need is you're going to need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. Here's a word problem that you'll be working on. You'll be adding your responses to a Padlet. When clicking on the link to the Padlet, you'll be given a RDW or read, draw, write problem. There is a section for you to read, a section for you to draw, a section for you to write, and then a section for you to write your statement. There's also the rubric below to remind yourself of what to do for each of the areas. Thank you again for watching. I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about tape diagram, how to use this model, and how to implement it in your future classrooms.